It's the Derek O'Shea Show. Hamas leader Haniyeh thanks Iran for supplying weapons to Gaza in a TV statement. Thanks for confirming everything we assumed, but you went out and just said it. So Iran is to blame. Great. New clashes erupt between Israel's security forces and Palestinians inside Al-Aqsa Mosque compound on Temple Mount in Jerusalem, happening right now. Netanyahu said that Israel could respond strongly to any further rockets from Gaza. Rockets from Iran, you mean? Says the IDF could actually have gone and done a ground invasion, but decided not to. I think that's like a warning. Hey, you guys, we're going to do this ceasefire, but if you do one thing, you're done. Anti-Semitic attacks surged to almost 40% in a week across the United States. 40%. That's a large amount. Orthodox Jews are chased down by Palestinian protesters in L.A. Garbage is thrown at a Jewish family in Miami Street, and Israel supporters are pelted with fireworks in New York. And it looked more like almost like an explosive device was thrown into a crowd in New York City, in the New York City Diamond District, amid pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel protests. The Anti-Semitic, Anti-Defamation, that's like the complete opposite. The Anti-Defamation League has reported almost 200 anti-Semitic attacks on Jewish people in the past 10 days. And you might say to yourself, Derek, it seems very one-sided. Why are you saying just about Jews being attacked? Because that's what's going on. I've looked at all these videos. I've looked at all these news sources, and I'm not seeing Jews running out and throwing and pelting stuff at these pro-Palestinian people. I'm not seeing any. When I see these pro-Palestinian, pro-Israel rallies, there's one side with weapons and clubs in their hands, and it seems more aggressive. It's very leftist. It makes sense. It fits the narrative, as you say. They're very Antifa is even joining in the ranks and joining some of these things. So it makes sense. But why is it happening? It's all too obvious, isn't it? It's very obvious. Biden says also the U.S. is going to resupply Israel's Iron Dome defense system, as we've given aid to Palestine, and now we're giving aid to Israel, and just kind of staying out of it, but putting our finger on both to maybe ignite it more. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? I don't really see this de-escalating. I see this continuing into Hamas is gone and maybe Iran. At least the leaders, not the people. Relax. A Canadian school board is preparing to change the name of a public school named after Queen Victoria, citing the Queen's alleged racist legacy. You've been canceled, Queen. Queen Victoria. You're just so racist. I don't know what you did, but I feel like it has to do with conquering people. Virginia Republicans call on Democrat governor to remove mask mandate from schools. It's never gonna happen. You know, at this point, you're just like, it's all about power. Everyone else is open. What are we doing? We just want to be the last to say, hey, we were the safest state, okay? We were the last to take down our mask mandate for our children because we care about our children's safety. 130 U.S. officials, mostly CIA and U.S. diplomats, attacked by suspected directed energy microwave weapon, which you can suffer severe brain injuries that can leave victims with permanent debilitating neurological symptoms. Say that 10 times fast. Permanent debilitating neurological symptoms. But that's crazy. And I've seen reports. Fox has confirmed 2 individuals working on the NSC during the Trump administration believe they were targeted in 2019 and 2020 in the days following the election. One was near the White House in the other was walking their dog. The Russians have been working on mobile microwave weapons for years. If you're going to try it out in D.C. Make people go crazy. That is crazy. That just seems like something out of a movie. It's like UFOs one week, microwave weapons next week. What's next week? Another COVID strain? No way. On Thursday night, this guy is a peach. I mean, seriously, this guy is the salt of the earth. On Thursday night, CNN host Chris Cuomo, salt of the earth, incredible human being, does everything for humankind, and I watch the show every night. I love it. I record it, and even if I don't watch it, I watch it. I'm sorry. CNN host Chris Cuomo dedicated a short segment on Cuomo Primetime to apologize for advising his brother, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, on sexual harassment allegations made by a number of former staffers. Hey, this is what you do. I've been experiencing this myself. You just got to push back. You got it. You can't. You just deny. So the Cuomos are terrible human beings. I'm not joking. He said, saying it was a mistake because I put my colleagues, this is a quote, I put my colleagues here, who I believe are the best in the business, in a bad spot. Cuomo explained, I have never intended for that. I would never intend for that. I am sorry for that. God, I mean, sometimes when I read these quotes, I struggle with it. A, I do have dyslexia, but B, mainly because that is not. Sometimes quotes are just better not read out loud. You're better just to read. He said, "I intended for that. I would never intend for that. I never intended for that. I would never intend for that. I am sorry for that." Now, if I know anything about apologies, I know that was sincere. Okay. I never intended to hurt your feelings, but I'm sorry if I did. It's like, and you go up to your neighbor and just punch him in the face. Hey, I never intended to actually hit you, but I'm sorry that I did. Does that count? I'm going to do a whole segment on how to actually apologize to someone and say that you messed up. Because we live in a society that when they come out and say apologies, I'm like, that is not an apology. But Cuomo doesn't care. He's mainly saying, hey, I should have done it more in secret. I should have told my brother, maybe come on my show and do something, and we could have done a primetime segment and get more viewers, because gosh dang it, Tucker Carlson's stealing everything. A local Boston radio host walked off his morning show Tuesday after management reportedly instructed him to ease up on the criticism of singer Demi Lovato's non-binary identity. I didn't report on that story because I don't care, but I find this interesting. That a radio host disc jockey, which when I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, disc jockeys were more like shock jockeys. They would say shocking things because you're driving in the morning, you're half tired, and you just want to hear something funny before you go into work so you don't have such a bad day or going to school. So they would say really outrageous things, and you're just like, you can't say that. But in today's world, hey, you might offend somebody, so don't say that. And it's not that they can't change the channel or just subscribe to something else or look for a new program. They're forced to listen to what you have to say because it makes no sense. Apparently, Matt Siegel, host of Maddie in the Morning. God, what a news show. Hey, it's Maddie in the Morning. It's Matt Siegel. How you doing today, folks? I'm from Boston, and we're having a great time this morning. On Boston's Kiss 108, told his audience, I am the biggest of all time, they said. Shut up, Matt. Stop talking. Well, I hope you are happy because I just stopped talking. Maddie out. He was very angry at the fact that they were telling him, hey, you can't talk about this stuff. We don't want you to talk about this stuff because people are going to be offended. And even he came out with other quotes saying, like, I made fun of the right, the conservatives all the time, but the minute I make fun of the left, everyone loses their minds. Yes, you get it. As all my liberal friends say, hey, all these conservatives pretending like they're being canceled and you just can't talk about stuff. Hey, it's okay that my channel gets 1,000 bajillion views and is never demonetized and I'm doing just fine. But these conservatives, you're just not connecting to your audience enough. Sure. Speaking of sure, dating apps like Tinder and OkCupid promises users more matching by sharing, wait for it, their vaccination statuses on profiles. Yes. In fact, if I was on those apps, I'd be just scrolling. Oh, I like this person. Cool. Oh, they've been vaccinated and they have a stupid vaccination. They're telling everyone in the world and they have like those stupid profile pic with the vaccination thing around it. Skip. Even if you're the one I'm supposed to be with the rest of my life. That is so weird. Why do people do that? This is the weirdest time that people are so big pharma and just like love. I've never posted when I got my flu shot. Hey, just got my flu shot. I just want everyone to know. Signed it. Went to Costco. Got it done like a boss. Hey, I just did some boost. I just did my tetanus booster. Got it done. Tetanus approved, bruh. It's so weird. It's all a cult, and it's just such a weird thing to me. And to say it's not is such a joke. Speaking of joke, but actually also the salt of the earth, her and Chris Cuomo should go hang out together. House Republicans say war on Nancy Pelosi's mask rules. As Majority Taylor Greene, say what you will about her politics, I'm just excited and happy to see a Republican with this thing called a backbone. I don't know if Republicans know what that is, but they should look it up and find it because there's only like 3 of them that have it. But Majority Taylor Greene calls Pelosi a mentally ill Nazi, which is a little over the top, but also actually hilarious, for refusing to lift mask mandates, which is also very weird because I just saw a video the other day of them hanging out without masks very close together in a super spreader event of the century. And Republican Thomas Massey puts his $500 fine for flouting the rules in the trash. They're getting $500 rules for that. Nancy Pelosi said, hey, you're entering my house. It's my rules, and I'm going to keep these rules for the rest of your life. Because it's for our safety. But as soon as we leave this room, we'll go hang out. We'll eat dinner together. We'll get close. We'll hug. We'll kiss. We'll whatever. But when we're in front of the American people, it's very serious. Right, Fauci? You didn't want to send mixed messages. Well, you did. So, Bitcoin falls after China calls for crackdown on Bitcoin mining and trading behavior. I'm starting to think that China is taking notes from Elon Musk and playing the game. Hey, just say, hey, we're cracking down on mining one day, and the next day say, hey, actually, we're going to take Bitcoin. And then they buy in, and then it goes up, and they sell off. This is, even countries are getting in on this thing called market manipulation. But hashtag diamond hands, hold strong, hold the line. Prince Harry is in the news again, and I could care freaking less. And I hope you don't care either, because I'm so tired of him talking about his racist family and then being mad that his family is ostracizing him. Why would they do this? It's like they don't love me. It's like I'm making all these false allegations. Blah, 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 blah. Today in history, in 1881, in Washington, D.C., who soon will be a state. No. The American Red Cross is founded. Very cool. Very cool. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lincoln called it the saving the secret angel army or something. I don't know. Some kind of quote about that. I remember that from history because I'm a huge history buff. You can't tell. That's why I do the history. I'm almost thinking about doing history segments because I feel like we're canceling history. As I saw this article come out about this teacher that put up Nazi flags in this classroom. People were like, oh my God, get this teacher canceled. He's such a disgrace, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I'm actually just using this for a lesson. They're like, I don't care. It's very offensive. Like, but it's history. It's very offensive. Yeah. What people don't realize is history is offensive because when the stuff that we used to do back in the day isn't the best always. Some of it's good, but some of it is really bad. Like actual Jim Crow laws. Those are bad. Requiring an ID to vote is not the Jim Crow laws that I've read about in my history books. Those are bad laws. That is just silly. and it should be okay. Oh, you're right. Jim Crow. We're going to rewrite history. Blah, 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 blah. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please share this news with everyone and anyone you know. It's the only way we will grow as a community. And every time you guys share, I get more followers, and I know it's because of you. So I just want to thank you. Those of you that share this, that are not afraid to put this news on your platform, because it means a lot to me, and I hope I provide you with information. If you want any of my sources, feel free to email me, and I'd be happy to give you the source. I always put that on at least my podcast written up script that I follow, and except for my comments. You never know. Those opinions, my opinions that come out, you never know. You got to gear yourself up for it, because sometimes it can get pretty crazy. Have a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of The Derek Koch